let's talk about hoods, what they are, and why and how we use them. Now, hoods are made out of leather. This is an eagle hood. This thing is huge. There are very small hoods, and there are very large hoods depending on the type of bird. But one of the things is when people see a bird of prey with a hood on, it can be a bit alarming. And the reason is, for many people, a bird of prey is a symbol of freedom, and so this can seem like like you're diminishing their freedoms. But you need to understand what this is, why it works, how it works, and why it's an important tool that we use. So first of all, it's not a mask. A lot of people see these and they say, oh, why do you have your birds wear those masks? Well, a mask is something that covers your face. This covers the entire head. And people ask, can they see out of them? Well, no, the point is to darken everything. Although I have made one with a pair of googly eyes on the side just to throw people off. But the purpose of a hood is to keep a bird relaxed, especially while you're traveling, but also if there's a situation that comes up that's very stressful. Let's say you're at some sort of an educational event and somebody brings in a dog and your bird is terrified of this dog, it's jumping, it's scared. If you cover your bird's eyes, they instantly relax. The reason why that is, birds of prey, specifically falcons, hawks, and eagles. We don't use a hood on an owl. Falcons, hawks, and eagles are visual predators. They have no sense of smell. They do use their hearing, but everything is built based off of reaction. And that's why if you ever see a falcon or an eagle, they're looking around and all of a sudden they'll see movement and they start bobbing their head like crazy. They have forward set eyes. They have three-dimensional vision the same way we do. And so they're three-dimensionally trying to triangulate on that motion. Their brain is built to react quicker to what they see than we do. That's why birds can fly through forests going 70 miles an hour without running into a tree. Our brain doesn't process that much information that quickly. We're creative thinkers. Birds of prey are built for a quick reaction time. Well, so that's part of the equation. The other thing is at night, if you are a daytime predator and you're in a tree and you're bouncing around the tree at night, an owl is going to hear you, find you, and kill you. So when it is dark, eagles, falcons, and hawks think it's nighttime, and they get very, very still, very, very relaxed, and they go into this mode of safety. So you can simulate that with darkness. So a hood needs to be dark. Now I mentioned these are made out of leather. We usually use kangaroo hide, and the reason for kangaroo hide is because it is very strong, very stiff, but very lightweight. You don't want a lot of weight on that bird. Now, most of these hoods are stitched. We do glue some hoods now, but if you look at the inside, there is stitching, a crisscross stitching. What we do is we sew these hoods inside out, soak them, turn them right side out, put them over a mold, and let them dry on that mold so they're the right shape. This can be really tricky. If you look at that stitching is very small. Well, here's an experiment for you. Take a piece of paper, take a pin, poke a pin needle through a piece of paper and hold that right up to your eye. You can see everything through a pinhole. If one of those stitches is not tight enough, just a pinhole-sized hole, and your hood is worthless because it's right next to the bird's eye and they can see. Now, a hood needs to be molded perfectly to fit on the bird so it doesn't irritate them in any way. Now, this section right here, around the beak opening, has to be soft. Right here, this area on a bird is called their cere. It's fleshy, it's skin, it's soft, and you don't want that to give any abrasions at all. So this has to be made very, very particularly. You can see from a front view, the hood has a bulge around where the eyes are. And the reason is you don't want anything at all touching the eye. You want it to bulge away from the eye. Now also there are drawstrings in the back. We call these braces, but drawstrings is still acceptable. So those close and open. So you put it on the bird's head, and you learn in falconry to do everything one-handed. So you put it on the bird's head, and then you lean over and you bite and pull. That's completely normal. Now on top of hoods, there are these knots. This is called a Turks knot, but you don't have to have a Turks knot on. but you have to have something on top. And the reason why, this is what you hold the hood by. The way a bird's neck moves, it moves in a way that if you hold a hood like this and you try to put it on your bird carefully, it won't work. The way they dodge, the way they move, it doesn't work. This way gives you the ability to move these delicate movements that are needed, and you just touch the bird's chest and put it under the chin and gently put it on. You pull away, and when the bird is relaxed, when you pull those braces, and then they're ready to go. This allows a bird in our day to ride in the back of your car or your truck wherever you're going. In the olden days, that was by horseback or by camelback. And if you can imagine riding on a horse, all the bumpy motion that's going on, the bird stays perfectly still and happy and content. So there are different versions of drawstrings in the back. These braces are not made out of leather. These are made out of Gore-Tex, which is waterproof, but you can make them out of leather. This is an Arabic hood that uses an accordion back system. This is very popular all over the Middle East. It's a system that works really, really well. Hoods work very well for falcons, hawks, and eagles. They don't work for owls, and there's two main reasons. First of all, owls focus much more on hearing than they do on vision, and owls can see in the dark. So owls are used to being out at night. If you cover their eyes and put them in darkness, they feel right at home. They're like, okay, let's go around, let's do something, let's move around. So what we do instead when we're transporting an owl is we'll put them in a travel box that is dark and sort of replicates inside of a hollow tree. That's someplace that's cozy, they feel safe, and they travel well in that. But the other reason is that owls' heads are shaped just like a hawk's head, but they have feathers that stick straight out. And those feathers, so in other words, if you were to look at the top of a hawk's head, it would be shaped like that. If you looked at the top of an owl's head, you would think it was shaped like that. It's not. It's shaped like that, and it has feathers that poof it out. All of those feathers are vital to funneling sound to an owl's ears. If you put a hood on an owl, it would crush and flatten those very brittle hearing feathers, and so it wouldn't work at all. So even if a hood worked on an owl, we wouldn't use them because it would damage their hearing feathers. But it doesn't work anyway, so we don't need to do it.